Are you feeling lost? Well, you've come to the right place.
Welcome to Lostish, where we,
Rose Chachko,
and Emanuela Kathaptakis,
share what it's really like navigating your 20s.
we're two semi-lost girls figuring out careers, relationships, wellness, purpose, and everything in between.
Each week, we dive into the highs, the lows, and lessons of chasing your dreams, finding happiness, and learning to embrace the uncertainty.
We're not here to pretend like we've got it all together.
We're simply just figuring it out with you. Woohoo!
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Lostish podcast.
Yeah.
We do this every time and it's like a little bit cringe.
Yeah, it's all right. We love a bit of cringe.
We love a bit of cringe.
Anyway, we have a fun episode today.
We do.
So we decided very last minute that we wanted to have a couple new segments on our podcast where we do some chats specific to Rose and then some specific to me. So today's one is going to be a Rose segment.
It's going to be a Rose segment.
About the beauty of being single. So basically the way these segments are going to work is I've got a bunch of questions that I'm going to ask Rose about the topic of today, which is the beauty of being single, and she's basically just going to have a massive rant with you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to reveal
everything.
some tea about why being single is actually bloody amazing and how happy I've been in such a long time. And I'm somebody that's actually quite a relationship person. Like I was in a pretty much a 2-year relationship that I got into when I was like quite young. I think I was like either 18 or 19, which is young. Like, look, some people get into relationships when like 12 or 13. But mine happened a little bit later. And yeah. And
I think ever since you got out of that relationship, you've been thriving and you're going to be giving people the tea.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this in like a bit of a sort of like the get to know us episode. I'm just going to throw you questions and then give people
it to me.
What they want to hear.
Give it to me. I also do. I wrote a few talking points as well because there are things that I do want to say that I don't want to forget. So that's why I have, for those of you who are watching on video, I've got a phone in my hand.
Okay.
But so yeah, go ahead.
Question number 1.
Yes.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you've learned about yourself being single?
Ooh. You know what? Like this is such a big one for me because I didn't think this when I was in this relationship. But it's okay to be on your own. Like you're okay. I'm okay.
You've learned to like your own company.
I've learned to like my own company, which has taken me a while to get to that place. But I really do like my own company, and I used to feel the need to constantly surround myself with people, constantly be with that person, et cetera, but now I really have my own life. And I always had my own life. Like I'm a very independent person, but I think being on my own, I've been single for about a year and a half. Yeah. And it's been so formative. It's been like the most formative year and a half, dude. Like the highs and the lows, and obviously heartbreak is a whole other topic that I will get into in a different episode. But I've learned that it's okay to be by yourself. Like you're not any less. People who are in relationships, good for you, but you're not lonely. You're not any less than anyone. You're not any less likable or less worthy. I am worthy. I am likable. I am special, and my person will come. My person is out there, and right now I am so happy being by myself because I'm not by myself. I have my friends. I have my family who show me more love than I have ever experienced in any relationship. And that is what love to me is. You guys have literally shown me that love and soulmates exist, and it doesn't always have to be romantic. And you know what? If I'm single for the rest of my life and I have my friends and I have my family and I have my own company,
you'd still be thriving.
I'm fine. Like I'm fine because at the end of the day, I came into this world on my own. My mother birthed me. I didn't have a boyfriend next to me when she birthed me. You know, I came into this world by myself. You all came into this world by yourself, whether you're in amazing relationships or not, and you're going to be leaving this earth by yourself. And that's what I've learned, is that you need to be okay with your own company. And that was a big growth thing for me, because it's taken me a while to get to that point.
Wow, that was great. That was a banger, and that was only question 1. Okay, so how do you think that being single has changed your expectations for future relationships?
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, being single allows me to date on my own terms. Like, and for future relationships, I think I actually have, like, now I have really high standards.
Yeah.
Because I know my worth and I know what I can give and provide in a relationship. And I see how I show up for people. And I'm not talking myself up. I'm just literally being real.
She's not.
And I never used to say any, like, things like this about myself, and I've gotten to a place where I'm like, you know what, I can talk kindly about myself because I am a good person and I do show up for people. And once the right relationship finds me, I can show up for that person and have that reciprocated to me. I think the one thing that I have learnt is that if you want to make it work, you will.
Yep.
And your partner, and my partner, is going to prioritize me. My partner is going to show up for me the way that I show up for them, you know?
Agreed.
Put effort in, treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. But you know what? That comes from you. Like, that comes from yourself. I think if you have a low self-esteem and a low self-worth and a low self-concept of yourself, and you feel like, I'm not worthy of love, or I'm not worthy of this and that. And I used to feel that way, absolutely, because I think in previous relationships and situationships and whatnot, I felt like I wasn't worthy because I wasn't treated like I was. And the minute I started feeling like, no, you know what, I am worthy and I am special and I deserve to be treated with freaking respect, it changes for you and you start attracting the right people in your life.
Yeah.
Have I answered your question?
Yeah, you have. She has people flocking at her now.
Oh, God.
Listen to what she's saying, guys. Okay, I have a lead off question for that. So I know a lot of people probably aren't. I personally even know a lot of people that can't be alone.
Yeah.
And they're happier in a relationship even if it may not be the right one.
Yeah.
So why do you think that people, or what's your advice for people who have that mindset that being single is like a devastating or unfortunate thing?
You know, that's actually something that I can relate to, because I think after going out of my previous relationship, and when you go through heartbreak, you obviously feel so awful and you feel so alone and you feel like your ego and everything about you has just been like stamped on. And I felt quite worthless. I did. And I was like, no, I need that person. I need someone. First of all, you don't need anyone. No one ever needs anyone. For people that are stuck in like, I need someone, there's actually something deeper going on there. And firstly, I would recommend therapy. And therapy should never be frowned upon. It's something that I literally recommend and promote to everyone under the sun, because it's absolutely saved me in really crucial situations. I think you need, first of all, before any relationship, you need a really good base of like people in your life that you know will never leave, like family, like close friends. And I think I was lucky because I had really beautiful people in my life, still do. It's the same people that have literally been through hell and back with me, to have that and to know, okay, like, I'm not ever alone. I don't ever need anyone. If something goes wrong with that person, with my partner, I have people in my life, you know? I'm not alone. You're never alone. If you're stuck in codependent cycles and things like that, and that happens very, very often. You know, I've dealt with codependency before, and that's definitely a deeper thing. I'm not a therapist. I just want to preface that. I am not certified in psychology whatsoever. but I have experience with these things. And I think seeking therapy to find your independence and to actually start liking your own company. I think if you're single and if you're yearning to be with someone for the sake of being someone because you feel lonely in your life and you feel like whether it's you're not good enough and you need someone to validate that for you, that's a deeper thing. That's
you need to
much
work on
deeper.
yourself first before you go into a relationship, or else you're not going to bring your best foot forward in that situation.
No.
And no matter what the situation is, because you're not happy with yourself to begin with, you'll be going into a relationship with rose-colored glasses and you won't have those standards preset.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And can I just say, sometimes you do need to go through shit relationships to actually learn and realize certain things like your worth. I think if I didn't go through my previous relationship, I wouldn't have been the person that I am today and would have learned the things that I learned. And I'm not shitting on anyone. I'm not shitting on any partner or whatever. You know, that experience was that experience. But it was so formative to actually, for me to come to my senses and be like, oh my gosh, like I am worthy. I deserve to be treated well. I provide so much in relationships that if they don't provide that for me, I'm not going to go there. I'd rather be on my own.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I am at, is like, if you're not serving my life and if you don't bring a certain element or an addition to my life, then I don't want to be with you. And that's taken me a long time to get there. I keep saying that, but it's so true. And you need to be okay with being on your own first before getting into anything with anyone.
I completely agree with you. Completely.
Do you agree? What would you say, like, in those situations?
I definitely agree. If you're going into a relationship being unable to be happy on your own, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. You shouldn't be with anyone if you're not happy.
You're going to carry your emotional instability and all that baggage that people talk about. It's a real thing. And you're going to carry all the anxieties, all the stresses, all the, past traumas that you've had, or even the good things. Learn to be okay on your own first. There's nothing wrong with it. I think you pretty much covered it anyways on your own, but I completely agree with you, even as someone who hasn't been heartbroken, which we spoke about in our last couple episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so glad that, touch wood, I never had to go through something like that to realize self-worth and all of that sort of thing. But I think it's definitely something very relatable and something people struggle with so much nowadays. I get so upset every time I hear friends of mine or just people in general rant on about how they feel like they can't be on their own, or I see it. They don't even have to tell me, but I can just see that they're so dependent on their person. They could be treating them like shit and they'll still go back and go back and go back. And I'm like,
it's like a trauma bond. It's a codependency cycle. And it's like, I actually fully get that. And it's so hard. Like, no one will ever understand once you're in that. And like, especially when you're so, whether it's blinded by love, and that's a huge thing, being blinded by love and wearing such rose-colored glasses where it's like you see the good in that person regardless of what they do. And it's a hard situation to be in, and it's a hard cycle to break as well, even post relationship. If you're in that relationship and you break up and you're still in that cycle of communication, or whether you're still sleeping together or seeing each other or whatever it may be, that's still so hard because it doesn't actually give you the time to move on or the space to move on.
I think something else, one more thing that I'll add in, because this is something that me and my boyfriend talk about all the time, is that it's actually crazy how when you take the time to put in effort for yourself, how you just become so magnetic. And that's when the best things happen to you, whether it be life in general or you attracting the right people, because the energy you reflect is the energy you're going to get back. And me and my boyfriend always say now, like, when we both met, we were so happy being on our own. Like, we were so happy being on our own. And that's not to say happy to go around and do everything with everyone else, but we were just content with ourselves, that we had no expectations going into the relationship. And I think that's what's made it so strong now. So it's a real thing.
Yes.
Take care of yourself first. before. And there is nothing wrong with being single. Like, honestly, again, that was my whole point with what I just said, was that we were so happy on our own that it made the relationship so much better down the line. So take the effort and take the time that you're single as a great thing to work on yourself.
Work on yourself and love yourself as well. And that can come in many forms. When somebody says to me, you need to love yourself, it's like, okay, great, but what does that actually mean? That means, to me, this is what it means. It means prioritizing myself, having time for my friends and family, doing things that I want to do, not having the pressure of having to not so much care for someone else, but prioritize someone else, because it gives you so much time to actually be your own best friend. And like, to me, I know I can rely on myself. Like, it sounds so odd, but I know that I can rely on myself.
You'll show up for yourself.
I show up for myself, and it's still a very much so a work in progress for me, but, and it will be, for the rest of my life. Like, it's a constant work in progress, and in my next relationship, I'll still be working on that.
To still, have your independence, and not so much independence, but be able to be okay on your own even when throughout the relationship, because there's going to be hard times, there's going to be great times, but being able to be comfortable in your own skin when you're with someone else, that's how you thrive. If one person is like that and the other person is mentally distraught or, was unhappy going into the relationship, it's never going to work out. So I think independence is important when you're single, but also when you're in a relationship.
I highly recommend reading the book. Yeah, sorry, just before you ask. The Dolly Alderton book. Oh, my God. The Dolly Alderton book that I literally read. I was literally going to say 10 Things I Hate About You, but that's not it. Let me quickly search it up.
Is that the one I bought you?
No, my friend Nisha gave it to me. Everything I Know About Love. It's called Everything I Know About Love, and it took me a while to get into it, and she gave it to me when I went through my breakup, and she was like, read this. And I read this, and everything in that book literally says how you have so much love in your life through friendship, through family, through self-love, through experience. And
a lot of it's about perspective.
It's about perspective. It's the way that you view it. If you're viewing it like, I'm single, like no one loves me, like, I'm lonely, I don't have a partner, all my friends have boyfriends.
That was my question. That leads well into the next question. So my next question is, how do you, because I think this is something that you'd be a great person to speak on it about, but how do you feel? Obviously, there's a massive societal pressure for people nowadays. Like, I know you have said to me before, like, oh my God, I feel like all my friends are in relationships. Like, and not necessarily a bad thing. It's just how it is nowadays. It is what it is. Well, for us, for you. How do you deal with the societal pressure of feeling like you need to be in the relationship, but also even just like your parents?
Yeah. Yeah.
When I say your parents, I mean your parents wanting you to be in a relationship.
To find someone.
Wanting you to find someone, yeah.
It's hard. I'm going to be real with you. It's hard. There are times where I'm like, there are times where I see my friends in relationships and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not in that. Like, I'm so glad I'm not having to deal with like boy drama and like texting 24/7 and like just being constantly distracted by having a partner. But then there's another side of things where I see really beautiful, healthy relationships and I'm like, that is gorgeous. That is exactly what I want. I don't want a relationship that causes me drama. I want peace. I want stability. I want kindness. I want a fireplace. I want it to be really warm and safe. It's hard to navigate because, to be honest, right now, all of my friends are in relationships. I'm probably one of the only single people in my kind of circle. And I think that comes with, honestly, having friends that don't shove it in your face 24/7.
Oh.
I'm very straight up. Like if I'm out to dinner with my friends and they're texting their boyfriends and they're talking about their boyfriends 24/7, I literally will say stop because you're here with me. be present.
I don't do that, guys.
She actually doesn't. You actually don't. And I love that about you. That's the thing. That's what I would say actually for advice. If you're in my position and all your mates are in relationships and you feel a bit shitty when you're around that, reframe that and think, okay, how can I tell my friends how I feel? Because that's important. And for them not to so much, I don't know, shove it in your face. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think
mean, a good friend wouldn't do that to begin with.
A good friend wouldn't do that. But sometimes
there's nothing to shove in your face.
No. But some people think it is.
I know.
Yeah,
some people do, but I'm just saying, from my perspective, there should be nothing to shove in your face. What are you shoving in your face? It's none of anyone else's business but yours.
No.
And don't go out of your way to make someone else feel shitty for absolutely no reason.
And I want you to remember, easier said than done, being single is beautiful. Being single is beautiful. You're in a relationship with yourself. Like, you do not have to worry about anybody else, and it gives you the breathing space to work on the things that you want to work on, to pursue the things that you want to pursue. Right now, I'm in career mode. Like, I am in creative career mode. I am friend mode. I am family mode. Like, that is what is fulfilling my life right now, and I have the space to do that, which is really, really beautiful. Not saying that you don't have the space to do that when you're in a relationship, but
no, but I'm very proud of you, because I remember you telling me, a couple years ago, like, as bad as it sounds, like, the person I was with, I would have put anything aside for them, which now you know your worth and you know that that's not what you would do now. And people have, you prioritize your time.
Yeah.
Accordingly. And I think what that comes down to is not even just you being a good person, but it's the fact that you've recognized your worth and you've recognized exactly what it is. Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling, but you kind of covered it. I'm just touching on your point, but it's more it's rewired you getting out of that relationship, and now you know how to
This is also years of therapy, guys. Like, and I'm still in, like, I will be in therapy probably for the rest of my life, but like, a lot of therapy, a lot of deep work, a lot of working on yourself, a lot of meditation and breathing. And
we want you to take these episodes as therapy sessions, please.
Yeah. Although we're not therapists, but
we're not,
we have experience, and I'm really passionate about this, which is so weird. I'm passionate about being single. And I really do look forward to when I meet the right person. I really do. But I'm not in no rush. Like, I'm with me, I'm with you, I'm with my friends. I'm not single. I have people. You have people. And if you don't, that's okay. You can find your people, and it will take time. It's about being in kind of the right place at the right time, and it'll happen organically. And
also that'll just give you more of an opportunity to build on yourself and value yourself and learn your self-worth.
And the one thing I've also learned, sorry guys, is to, when you're in a relationship, oh my God, never ever neglect the people in your outside world. Because if that relationship doesn't work out, you will literally have no one to go to.
That's not to say don't prioritize a relationship. However, that's what I was saying about people not knowing how to act when they're in a relationship. Just be a good person. Don't automatically think that everyone else in your life becomes completely irrelevant, even if that's just family, because I know people like that. People get into relationships and suddenly they're spending 24/7 at their house, forget about their family.
Friends,
plans are ditched left, right and center because they're with their partners, and it's like,
becomes your whole world. You're so encompassed by it.
And that can be dangerous for your mental health as well.
Yeah, totally.
When you become, it leads on to codependency and like a tie. It's hard.
Yeah.
And then it will make it all what you were saying is that in a situation where, this is what I'm saying about me being so proud of you, is because when you got out of it, it took you that extra time. Whereas if you went into the relationship without that codependency mindset, that's what would have saved you in the long run. But
absolutely. We got, and we all will get there in the end. And it's a constant work in progress. I'm a constant work in progress. By no means do I have my single life figured out. I have times where I'm like, oh my God, like I just want, but like,
welcome to Lostish.
Welcome to Lostish. Like, we're feeling like a bit lost and like, well, I don't know, but right here, right now, single Rose is happy.
Thriving and happy.
And I kind of right now wouldn't have it any other way. And if you're not an addition to my life, I don't want you in it.
No, but we honestly hope you loved this segment. I don't have any more questions for you, Rose, but this will be happening a lot more because I think we each have our own, this is why we're so powerful together, is because we each have our own experiences. And I think doing segments on our own will allow people to get to know us individually a little bit better, but also like I think that you are a much stronger contestant to talk about stuff like this. For example, next week, Rose is going to ask me the same similar questions, but about the beauty of being in the right relationship.
Yeah.
So we'll have little segments like that here and there, and we hope you guys enjoy them. And if you have any ideas, feel free and reach out. Anything you guys would like to hear.
Like DM us on Instagram,
realized we
TikTok.
have listeners all over the world, guys.
We do. We have listeners in Kenya.
And in Japan. And in
Ukraine. I've got family in Ukraine that listen to it.
Countries that we know for a fact we don't know anyone in, and we're getting listeners, guys.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's really special, and we just want to thank you guys for supporting us. We've literally started this podcast from scratch. Like, we literally have no following, no influencer in us.
We just hit our month a couple days ago.
We did hit our month.
But yeah, it's just very exciting for us, and even though it's like a smaller project for now, we're hoping it'll have a big impact.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Thank you for asking me, and thank you for getting vulnerable with me.
That's okay.
We're all about opening up here, and I also this is another opportunity for you guys to get to know us, and as we said in this episode, you got to know me, and in the next one you'll get to know Emanuela.
Me.
But thank you guys so much for listening to the Lostish podcast. Reach out if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you.
Yeah, stay tuned.